They just want you to sit in your chair and go, hip hip hooray, for the Western press and the Western narrative, regurgitating the same old, every single day, without the stop. Please watch the first series, the first 2 episodes, the second series. Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Hiya everyone, it's Friday night. For everyone who's not going out tonight to enjoy themselves, you could either be stuck with me or I don't know what's to tell you something. But anyway, good evening everyone. Glad you're here, whoever's here with me tonight. But before I start, just want to thank these wonderful people for sponsoring the Frank Carlyle podcast. And that's Gap Painting Services. Yes, Gap Painting Services. Honestly, don't struggle. Don't struggle trying to decorate your house, inside and out, by the way, not just inside or outside, both. If you're an NHS worker and you're working all those shifts, coming home trying to decorate, don't do it. Get them in. You get a special discount. And also, if you're elderly, don't try and decorate, because you get a special discount too. And if you don't fit in the categories, as I keep saying, honestly, they're very, very reasonable. Very reasonable. And that's Gap Painting Services. The lads are super, honestly. They're in and out. They leave your house fantastic the way you want it. They're fully time served. They're not cowboys. And they're fully insured just in case they damage something. They're fully insured. And that's Gap Painting Services, the sponsors of the Frank Carlyle, or the sponsor of the Frank Carlyle podcasts. Every single one of them. And I'm back again. Hello. I'll just go through some of these if I might. Simon. I'll have to put my glasses on. Don't like wearing my these bloody things, they're dead heavy on me. But I have to wear them so I can read properly. Using everything. Simon says, Simon said, I feel like singing that song. Hello, Simon. Hi, Frank. Have you heard of Operation Northwoods planted by the CIA in 1962 to stage terrorist attacks on American citizens and the military targets, blame it on Cuban government and convinced to wage war on Cuba? Do you know what? Honestly, they do it on everyone. They've been doing it for years. And it's ever since the Second World War, to be honest. When they were formed, they were military, the CIA, Central Intelligence. That's what they still are today, to be honest. And it was dirty tricks campaign, even against their own presidents, by the way. Even against their own presidents. And, well, as you know, you've only got a leap a few years to 63. November the 22nd, 1963, and what happened then. Yes, I do know about it, actually. I do. It's the red flags. Every time there's red flags, you've only got to look at Iraq as well. You've only got to look at Iraq. Absolute disgraceful. Weapons of mass destruction. W. Bush, he was thick, him. Thick. Honestly, he was. He's... Anyway, he never came up with the idea of weapons of mass destruction. He didn't come up with that. The CIA did. MI6. The CIA and MI6 are very, very clever. They are, you know. I'm not just saying that because, you know, the British. I'm not just saying that. They are. The CIA are too. But they're devious. They work together. You've only got to see what's happening in Ukraine. You've only got to see what's happening at the Kerch Bridge. Who blew it up, or who tried to blow it up? MI6, with the CIA involvement. You see, so the CIA have always putting red flags out. Simon, see what? Yeah, the Gulf again, the Tonkin incident involving the USS Maddox firing on what is later claimed were several North Vietnamese targets. This was later debunked, but the lies spun led to tens of thousands of deaths. Yes. I don't know whether have you ever heard of the smart bomb that America developed? Yeah, hello. Hang on. And hopefully you can find time to discuss tonight or on future podcasts. There's a lot of relevance today. How the CIA still work to affect the geopolitical landscape. Anyway, have a good show tonight. Well, if I was going to discuss it, you've gone. So it's not worth it, is it? You're saying good night. But as you know, the CIA are involved. There's more red flags by the CIA than there is at Anfield. And that's saying something. Oh, the lovely Myra. Hi, Frank and friends. Hey, Myra. And she says, Frank, why can't we go to the moon? Think about it. We have technology 1,000 times advanced than 1969. Elon said on a blog that it'll take 8 rockets with the fuel to get to the moon. Do you think, yeah, but see, his rockets are returnable, whereas the Apollo ones weren't. They just burnt up and crashed and whatever. They only sent the things down by parachute. But his rockets have to come back. They just come back and be reusable. The Apollos weren't, not one of them. And that's why, to be honest, Myra, it'd have to use more than one. As you said, 8. It's just like these long distance planes that you see today, and they're getting refueled in the sky so that they can carry on to a destination. And I don't mean, when you go on holiday, you're flying over to Italy or Spain or wherever, you know what I mean? It's not one of them, it's the long distance ones. Say like to the Arctic, for example. they get refueled until they land at a base, and whoever base it is, whether it's USA or Russian or even British for that matter. So you're right, though. Why haven't we gone to the moon? The thing is, people say, did we ever go to the moon? That's one of the great conspiracy theories, actually. Did we land on the moon? And she carries on by saying, also NASA scientists said on a blog that we yet have to invent to get humans through the, yeah, it is. This is why conspiracy theorists, I'm not saying they're right and I'm not saying they're wrong. These have to go through this belt where there's, say like, you know, when you pick a stone up, when I was a kid, we used to see these, I always remember this block, little, you know, they were being demolished, put it that way. And if we seen a window, pick the stone and throw it and smash it. Little stone, as a little kid. You see, what I'm saying is, you've got this belt with little tiny stones. Big stones, tiny ones that'll penetrate anything. If you're in a rocket, think about it. You're in a rocket and you're going through a belt like that. Through these things, little stuff, whatever. They'd smash the rocket up. They really would. They penetrate the rocket. And that's been proved, by the way. Yeah, the Van Allen belt. Then there is the pictures on the moon and light settings. So you're one of, yeah, well, I'm not saying you're one of the theorists, Myra. I'm not saying that you're one of the theorists, but it's a very good theory when you look at what was happening with the pictures sent back. Don't forget, you can look at just an ordinary film, Hollywood film, and they're very convincing that, you know, let's say like Mars, for example, they've landed on Mars, you know, mission to Mars. And I'm talking about with today's technology as well. And it looks great, you know, wow. It convince you that they have landed on it. If they put it out and said, we've landed on Mars, we had a secret thing, you know, going back 18 months and we sent them out, the rockets, and here they are on the surface of Mars, people will believe it. You've landed on Mars. I watched a film with Liev Schreiber. It's good, Liev Schreiber, by the way, where they landed on Mars and there was a base. It's a good film. Last Days of Mars or something like that it was called. And it shows you what Hollywood can do to convince. And that even goes back to 1969, what they can do. And it was in black and white. Remember, black and white. What got me at the time? What got me? What fascinates me are the stars, you know, on a moonlit night. And I'm looking at the stars, you know. I've always done from a child. Always looked at the stars. And there are 3 stars in the sky. I don't know who they are. And they go down, they go one there, and one there, in a line like that. And I always look at them when it's not cloudy in this wonderful country. But I always seem to look, well, I do, not see, I do, look at these stars and wonder how far apart they are. Do you know what I mean? And that's the vastness of space. The vastness of space. And I look at them. And as I said, how far apart are they? I mean, those particular, not how far apart they are up there, you know, how many millions of miles away they are. But how many millions of miles apart are they, those three stars? Most probably you've seen them as well. And they've always fascinated me. They've always fascinated me. Looking up at the stars. And have we really, you know, we've sent probes out. I can't get over that the 1974-6 Voyager. That was an unbelievable piece of engineering to get out there. It's gone out of the solar system. And they're still sending, or are they? I don't know. But they say they are, you know, information back. It is fascinating, really, you know, when you come to and speak about the moon, when you come to speak about Mars or anything like that. Mars is the only planet, you know, forget Venus and the rest of them, that can hold life because it does have oxygen. Very thin, but it does hold oxygen. I'm not saying like you can go there, land on and go, oh, this is great, you'd be dead. I'm just saying a very thin layer of oxygen. With help like from a base, obviously. But it will be done, not in our lifetime, but it will be done when they get to Mars sometime in the future. Space exploration, which goes on to their Paperclip, Operation Paperclip, actually. Why is the Russians did not go to the moon? You can send probes to planets, but not humans. This is why they're always sending out probes. As that, you know, trying to be mentioning, I've just been mentioning it. You know, they do send probes out. And you're right, because they have to bring humans back. And they can't do it. They haven't got the technology yet. This is why I mentioned about, you know, long distance planes. Going, say, like to the Arctic or crossing somewhere, and they have to be refueled. I'm talking, they're military planes, by the way. They're military planes, not commercial planes where they can land at an airport and be refueled. But these military planes have to be refueled in the sky. I think that's great, that, to be honest. One of the greatest things, in my opinion, I had an astronomer on here, and he was good. We lost his email, and he liked coming on, actually. And this fella worked at Jodrell Bank. Forget his name. And I said to him, one of the greatest things I seen, and it was in the making, like 11 years. This I explained to him. I said, in the making 11 years, a probe was sent 11 years before to land on a meteor or a comet. I forget what it was. I said, and it travelled millions of miles for 11 years, sent by you. I said, and it landed. I said to him, which surprised me, actually, with the response from it. It wasn't Jared Gilligan. Some other, was it Jared? Yeah, it was Jared Gilligan, the astronomer. And I said to him, just imagine that technology today. He said, yeah, he said, but that technology, it wasn't just done that day, it was done in the past. So they're doing more stuff for the space than anything else. Exploration. And you've got to ask yourself, why? Why are they doing it? I always remember during the Cold War, I'll put it this way. During the Cold War, how can I put this? During the Cold War, there were people, right? It's like a big preamble. You go back even before the Second World War. Honestly. You go back to the First World War and the Russian Revolution, believe it or not. And everything is planned. Everything is planned. All the seeds are sown because they knew going back then that there'd be a Cold War, as they said, with the Soviet Union after the 1917 Russian Revolution. Jordan, the First World War as well. And they knew, believe you me, they knew. So everything is planned. Everything is seeded. Just like anything, it's seeded. As I said about space exploration, but getting back to the Cold War, these surveyors, they see me in town. They went, Frank, I said, yeah. And they said, do you want to come and see something with us? And I went, they said, you'll be gobsmacked. So I went, okay. And they waited for me, and I went into a place. I went down, went along this corridor, opened this massive big door. It wasn't a wooden door. It was a big metal door. They had these arc lights. And what I seen blew me mind. Just blew me mind. That was just in case of a nuclear attack. Look, Operation Paperclip, for example. Operation Paperclip. You've got to look to America. They love neo-science. Oh, it was great. Neo-science and colour. That's what they were good at. But they were useless at anything else. Do you know that? Science. They always tried. And they were trying to make a bomb. The first atomic bomb. They couldn't do it. If you think Robert Oppenheimer split the atom, you're wrong. Because they had to send for a fellow at Liverpool University named Sir James Chadwick, because what they had with this, splitting the atom and make this big bomb, we'll stop all the wars. I'm going to prove something in a moment anyway. So anyway, they couldn't split it. So they sent for this James Chadwick, and this is the Manhattan Project. The Manhattan Project was like that. Steel, you couldn't get in, nobody. It was so secretive. But they sent for this fella. This physicist, one of the great physicists, Liverpool University. Don't believe that, would you? Got the scouts are over. Here's yours. And he came in. Hey, lads, yeah, that's how you do it. Got it all right now? Yeah, I'm off now, so lads. See you. And that was the very first weapon of mass destruction made. They couldn't do it. And what they were also looking at during the Second World War was the V1 bombers. Look at this, look what they've done, these Germans. Look at that. A rocket. A rocket. They couldn't perfect it. So what was happening in the Second World War? He was saying, this is going to come to an end one way or the other. The Soviets are, they're like a train, and they're just going, and it's non-stop. It's unstoppable. And they're going to get to Berlin first. But what we have to do now is to round up scientists, engineers. We have to, all these German scientists and engineers and God knows what, we have to round them up now. And they did, they rounded them up. They just rounded them all up. And every single one, I think they rounded up about 1,600 of them. 1,600 of them. They rounded up. Every one of them were Nazis. Think about that. Think about that. They were all working for the Nazis. They were all Nazis themselves. Because you had to be in Germany then. You had to show your allegiance. It's like the SS. The SS, there's only one leader, and that was Hitler. They were loyal. In fact, they actually copied the Praetorian Guard, the old Roman, ancient Roman Praetorian Guards, because there was only one leader, and that was the emperor. And anyone who went near the emperor were doomed. They protected him. And what colour were they? Black. And what stood them out was the red feathery helmet, red. What colour was the Nazi flag? Black and red. You see, so it's all preamble. And once the war was over, where's them Nazis gone? Taken away. They weren't taken away on the day, the war ended. They were well taken away before then to America. America would never have got to the moon without them. He wouldn't have had a rocket. If you think that America is so much, so brilliant, it was other technologies, other countries' technologies. If you look at China, for example, China is immense. Immense. And I'm talking about with science. Really? With science and engineering. Look what they've done. They're the only country, they just sat back, let the Americans do whatever. But they went, there's the moon. They sent rockets to the dark side of the moon. Albeit America went around it. They sent one, landed it. And they're getting all the information. You see, so, and that's without the help of the Germans or the German scientists going back then up to today. And but anyway, they did it. You've only got to look at the intelligent, they're very intelligent people, by the way, the Chinese. They really are. Their technology is unbelievable. You've only got to look at India. Incredible. Incredible. India. And their intellectuality, you know, you look at China, and they keep doing this, by the way. You look at India, I'm sorry, you look at India, and what do the West do? They always show you the poverty. They always show you the people in the Ganges, you know, washing themselves. Oh, look at that. Oh. But they don't show you the academia side of it. And the brilliant. Especially the young, brilliant minds, right? Why am I saying this? I'll tell you in a moment. So you've got to look at Russia, right? So you look at Russia, and you know, did they get to the moon? Did they get to the moon? I say they did, actually. I say they did. But having said that, you look today, they've been sanctioned since 1924. Did you know that? 1924. Even when they were in the G8, before Obama got shut at them. Oh, they're nationally them dirty Russians. Get out. We don't want to see it anymore. More red flags was shown. So anyway, Russia left the G8. And they were still, what I'm saying is, they were still being sanctioned. They were still being sanctioned from the 20s. And yet, look what they achieved. Look what they achieved. Incredible. First man in space. Oh, American help. Oh, German help. But people say, oh, German technology was there. You know, they captured them during, at the end of the war. First man in space. And the first man to walk outside the spacecraft. Americans couldn't do it. So what I'm saying is, they've got fantastic scientists as well. They made a big atom bomb themselves. They made a big nuclear hydrogen bomb themselves without the help of it. So it's their own scientists, physicists. And what have they got today? What's been proved? When you look at Trump a couple of months ago, when he said, it came out about these Mach 7 ballistic missiles that the Russians have got, right? And what did Trump say? Obama gave the secrets away. Gave the Russians the secrets for these missiles. Guess what? Why haven't they made them themselves? Why haven't they made them? If Obama went, say, oh, lads, you can have that. Oh, right, you know, what's this then? Oh, that's, you know, for the Mach 7 ballistic missile, that'll be untouchable. Oh, okay then. Yeah, oh, great, thanks. Oh, thanks, Mayor Barack. Fucking as if. Come on. Do me a favor, give me a break. You'd expected me to believe that or anybody else. And Trump said it. So why haven't they got them? Why are they trying to catch up with Russian technology? They've got the Orishnik without using a nuclear power. The end of it. The Orishnik, which is an incredible missile. The technology gone into that. America haven't got it. And Myra says, Frank, the question remains, why did they fake the moon landings in 1969? There's lots of permutations, to be honest, Myra. Honestly, there's lots of permutations about it. You know, people believe it. I knew a fellow once, I don't bother with him no more. Like pricky or fuck that. Anyway, he was a spaceman. He loved space, you know. He was good at it as well. And someone said to him, we were sitting down, he was having a cup of coffee or something. And someone said to him, one of the lads said, I don't believe that they landed on the moon. I think it's fake. Oh, no, they landed on it. And I just said, well, listen, George. I said, they can fake things, you know. They can fake. You've only got to look at Hollywood and how they fake things. How they can fake it. You watch films and go, oh, isn't that great? It's fake. It's all fiction. Fake. So, you know, don't be kicking off. It's only an opinion and an observation, whether it is fake or not. Stanley Kubrick, one of the greatest of all directors of films, they said that he went in. And that's when I said, you know, at the beginning of this, when I was talking to Myra, about looking at the stars and that, I always wondered why, and even at the time in 1969, and I seen that thing take off, you know, to the mothership, you know, with the lads in it. Two things got me. That took off, you know, with the astronauts in it to get to the mothership that was circling the moon. And what never came up, as I thought, there was no dust. And yet, when you see it landing, supposed landing, you know, the rocket lands on the moon, it was filming it, wasn't it? You know, like it's some sort of camera looking down through a window. Right, and all the dust was flying everywhere. Do you ever remember that? The dust was flying, yet not a fucking bit of dust went from when it took off that rocket to the mothership. Not a bit of dust. And that got me. The other thing that got me, as I said about looking at stars, I love looking at stars, believe it or not. Don't know why, like, it must be a fetish of mine. You know, okay. Looking at those three stars, as I mentioned. Has anybody seen any stars? Now, don't forget, there's supposedly no atmosphere, no nothing. There's no pollution like you get here, you know, with the lights and what goes on around Earth. You've even got an ozone layer. Yeah, you can see stars. And yes, when you look at, you see no stars. Ow. And I'm no great scientist, you know what I mean? And that's what's always plagued me. And Yusuf says, wait, is this another Liverpool video or conspiracy? Well, I'm just following the thing now. I'm just following you lot. I'm sorry, but I'm just following you. I was going to talk about, but it's not worth it. You know, this Paperclip, Operation Paperclip, it's just to get all these And they were Nazis. That's the way that's what I call them, Nazi, full of Nazis. Get them all over here. Save them. We got them as well, you know. The UK got them. Nazis in this country. Canada. And they were still bringing them out, you know, up until, I think, 1960. Something like that, you know. Anyone, Russians or anyone. Or Soviets, then. Get them. They're good, then. Let them, you know, all the propaganda against the Soviet Union. There was a couple of defectors. One of the most notable defectors of the Soviet Union, or from the Soviet Union into the West, was Rudolf Nureyev, the ballet dancer. And what did he say later on? He said, I missed the Bolshoi. Because, you know, he joined the, I don't know, something in London, the ballet in London, the ballet club. And why didn't all these athletes and why didn't they all defect? Have you noticed? You know, you see films, and you see the the KGB following them around, looking like that. Oh, your eye on this. She's going to defect, or he's going to defect. Oh, the bollocks! So why didn't they defect? The bear. Hi, Frank. Hope you're well, son. How you, bear? I'm sorry, I'm not. As I said, I was going to talk about, but it's just a waste, isn't it, now? It's just a waste. So, as I said, it was a secret, and it was all this thing, you know. It was all this thing. And the original was to just get them out of Germany and to help with their sciences and engineering and whatever. And look what they achieved. America with Braun, the chief scientist, the fellow who made the big rockets. So, you know, it's the help of other technologies that America achieve what they get. Believe that. Believe that. And Callum says, Yusuf, probably both. It's whatever comes up. I'm sorry, it's whatever comes up. Hi, Simon and Mia, says the bear. I'll let you carry on. Let us carry on. That is Eric. Hi, Eric. Good evening, Frank. Hope everyone in the chat. Hi, everyone in the chat. Toscana. Buonasera, Franco. And everyone, hope you're all well. Excuse me. Got a bit of a cough, you know. Little bit of a cough. Ambidextrous. Good evening, all. Good evening. Now, if that would have been a fella, I could have gone that. Evening, all. But ambidextrous. Evening, all. And Scottish bear and you, sir. That's nice. I bet you if there's any Americans looking, then they'll be cursing me. There was a post, I don't use Facebook anymore, you know, I just don't. I just don't. There's some stupid things that come out. But there was a poster, and it was by a friend. He's a lovely man. And he said, we're all immigrants in this country. I knew what he was getting at. And it's the Palestinians, you know, what they're going through in Gaza. Point is, people don't realise when someone's waving the Palestinian flag, this is just me, by the way. It's not waving the Palestinian flag for the sake of waving the Palestinian flag and, you know, disregards like the flag of the country. It's to remind people what's going on at Gaza. That's what it is. That's in my opinion. The bear. Hit the like button and subscribe for Frank. Thanks, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Bear. Good evening, Frank and legends in the chat. Hope everyone is well, says Johan. Hiya, Johan. Hiya, mate. And the bear says the Americans decided to set up a bunch of red flags and blame Cubans. They did, of course they did. They do it all the time. You've only got to fucking look at Georgia today. Not Georgia in America, Georgia. Ex-part of the Soviet Union. They're setting up colour revolutions. They're sending in. They've got NGOs there who bring in crowds of people with their little EU flags, wanting to change. These are foreigners bringing in foreign protesters. You've only got to look at Georgescu and Simeoni, two people who should have been leaders today of Romania. And they weren't allowed by the EU. Von der Leyen. What a prat she is. She hasn't a clue, that woman. Hasn't a clue. Here are this Kaya Callas. Two women. Pathetically pathetic. Having a clue. Look, let me try and... you're not stupid, I know that. But look at our energy prices there, right? There, right? Then all of a sudden there was sanctions put on Russia. There was the Nord Stream blown up. Prices are like that now. And then guess what? Don't you think that was all planned by America? It wasn't. The Italians have come out and said, you know, we've got these Ukraine, we've got this Ukrainian. Loads of nonsense. It was America who done it. It was America who blew it up. Seymour Hersh, the great investigative journalist, one of the best. He's won Pulitzer Prizes. Incredible journalist. He said they blew it up. The Americans. Remember that Sikorski, that Polish minister? On the day. And you see it bubbling like that. The gas. Why am I doing that? I'm giving you the special effects. And it was bubbling. What did he say? Thank you, USA. What did Liz Truss say? A phone that was tapped. It's done, she said. What we say, it's done. Proving America did it. Now they're trying to blame some Ukrainians. Well, even if they did blow it up, the Ukrainians, it set the whole of Europe from there to there. The Americans, what have they done? They've sent over, haven't they? all this gas, which is all this natural gas and tankers, and big tankers coming over to feed Europe. That's what they wanted. That's what they wanted. We'll make money. They must think that well, they are, unfortunately. Then you had a few weeks ago, didn't you? Was it last month? Von der Leyen negotiating trade things for Russia. Not with Russia, with the USA. And he just walked all over it. He walked it. Our European leaders are pathetic. We've got them in Brussels, all these bureaucrats, and they're unelected. And they are so pathetic. They're ruining Europe. They're ruining Europe. But you have the leaders of Europe who are pathetic themselves. Macron, Starmer, Merz. Look at Merz. Look at his family background, family past. Nazis. Look at von der Leyen's family past. Nazis. Annalena Baerbock, Nazis. Kaya Kallas, Nazis. Oh, who's the head of our new? Who's the new head? I'm sorry, of MI6. Her granddad. Was known as the butcher of Ukraine. Nazis. You can't make this up. Paperclip. You know, we're supposed to have stopped Operation Paperclip. I think it was, I'm not quite too sure. It was either between 1958 and 1960. And it stopped. But it didn't stop because they're still bringing them in. You've only got to look at it now today. It's, life, like history goes in a full circle. You know that, don't you? Like the bubonic plague. You've got all these diseases. Do you reckon that they're wiped out? No. Because you'd have, I don't like saying, I really don't like saying this, but I have to. You've got third world countries that are still suffering from the likes of tuberculosis and all these other horrible little diseases. And you're getting them, the migrants. Don't want to get into that, because I don't like blaming certain people. But as I said, it's just, it's full circles. That's what I'm trying to say. It's full circles, and they know this. You've got this, these intellectuals saying Earth is becoming overpopulated. Think about it. And believe it or not, they're right. It is becoming overpopulated. So what do they have? They have little wars. What I don't like about America, they're picking on Iran because, as you know, they wanted 7 countries to destabilize 7 countries so that their migrant, their populations would move into Europe to destroy and destabilize Europe. And they've done it. They've succeeded. There's one other country that's left, And there was left us again on the list, and that was Iran. To get that first, they said, we'll get that first. So you've got to ask, well, why Iran? Who's it they invade? Who's it they bomb? What happened? Have they invaded anyone? Well, they never invaded anyone. But imagine this, if someone bombed this country, bombed it, from a plane, missile sent over, and bang, what would you say? Would you say, I don't retaliate, you know what I mean? You wouldn't say that. You said, fucking hit them back. And that's what Iran does with Israel. Israel's attacking them. Because Israel would never attack them only with the might of the America behind them. But they're not worried now, Iran. So why Iran? Why does America want Iran? It's for their resources. Their resources is phenomenal. So you put a puppet regime in. You've got the king. You remember the ex-king, the Shah of Iran. Remember him? And they overthrew him. They said, "Fuck off you. You're giving everything to America." That's what it was all about. Same as Yeltsin. Yeltsin was doing the same, He was giving everything to the West, to America especially. And got shut of him. Oh, fuck you. And Medvedev came, and they were like, "I don't know," because Medvedev, as you know, if you look at his tweets, there'd be no Ukraine today if he was their leader, I'm telling you now, there'd be no Ukraine. And people in the West don't realise how good Putin is for keeping a lid on everything. He hasn't even taken the gloves off. But if Medvedev was leader, there'd be no Ukraine. Believe me, there'd be no Ukraine. It'll be flat. It'll be flat within a week. Believe that. So Putin came in, got shut of all the oligarchs, the American oligarchs, and the Brit. Go on, get out of here. And they've been at it, these oligarchs have been at it ever since. Get rid of Putin. We've got it. So everything, as I said at the beginning, it's a preamble. The seeds are already sown. You've got loads of red flags. Red flags are the worst things. It's just like Cuba. It's just like Vietnam. This is what the Americans are brilliant at. You've only got to look at Libya. You've only got to look at the propaganda that was given out about Muammar Gaddafi. Shocking it was. Shocking. Gaddafi was good to his people, but when you hear, he was horrible, he's killing his own. Same as Bashar Assad of Syria. They needed to get rid of him. And they were saying he was barrel bombing, his own people. He was. I even said it. I said he wouldn't do that. They needed to get rid of him because of Israel. I showed it last night. I haven't got it today, unfortunately. I showed last night. I wonder who. I'll just get my phone. I don't know. Hang on a minute. Got my phone. Let me get a picture up. I hope you can see this. I haven't got it, you see. See there, Israel is a tiny pinprick, really. But this is what they want, the greater Israel. Parts of Syria, parts of Egypt, everywhere. That's their greater Israel. I wish I could put us up, I can't. But that's it. That is it. And as the bear says, the Americans decided to set up a bunch of red flags and blame the kid. Of course. I'm going to go right down, people. I have to. I'm way ahead of myself. Snape, evening rednecks, unlimited data here. Trouble is, my minds are still limited to the depths of intellectual depravity, tragically curtailed by my even more limited imagination. Get the best out of him, don't you? The bear, hit the like if you haven't done it yet. Thanks, everyone, says the bear. Thank you, bear. The red bird. I'll have to go right down, people. I really will. I'm going to go right through this. Yo, Frank, did you see King Kenny on a couple of streams? I was messing with you. It was... I thought it was Kenny Dalglish. I was waiting for him to shout, hey, Frank, tell them about Oliver Twist. King Kenny. I mean, the proper King Kenny. Redbeard. Oh, what he is like. And the bear says, Redbeard, the crazy thing was, I thought it was you, brother. Your logo gave it. Oh, they are, say. So you can see the logo. I don't, I just read. Snidey, yeah. So they're the red flags, aren't they, for poor Frank? I thought he had a new thing. I was like, you know, can you subscribe and like? And he acknowledges it. Lovely. Christopher. Hi, Frank and everyone. Like and subscribe. Thank you, Christopher. And I still think Wallace the Gromit went to the moon. Most probably he did. The Gromit. And Johan, the Gulf of Tonkin incident, did you know Jim Morrison's father, George Morrison, was the commanding officer of the fleet? Funny family dynamics, especially when you learn Jim was raised in Navy camps. No, I didn't know that at all, to be honest, Johan. I didn't know. And the bear says, let's go to the moon and Mars. How about sorting this? Yeah, Stanley Kubrick film crew is the nearest we lot have been to the moon. They are. So there you go. You'll have the bear saying it as well, besides Myra. And Johanna doesn't see you there. Big up, my brother. Ah, oh, lovely. Says the red bird. Red bird goes in with King Kenny. And the red bird says, Al Murray, is that AI? Or I don't know. I get mixed up with all these fucking things now. If someone's name's Al, this is AI. So anyway, quote, why would the very country, in brackets, US is that, or us, we discovered gravity, go to the moon? Exactly. Good point, that. In fact, it's a brilliant point. The red bird, thanks. Us means the UK, not United States. Thank you. I should have realised that with the small instead of the caps US. I should have realised. Thank you, Redbird. And ambidextrous. Werner von Braun became the head of NASA after Operation Paperclip. Yeah. Everyone's gone to the moon. They wouldn't have gone to the moon without him, would they? If they went. And sorry, Myron, that was late, so I didn't see you until Frank put your chat on screen. Bless up, girl. Isn't that lovely? No, she's always here every Friday. Is the lovely Myra. And Johan, to ambidextrous. Werner von Braun was mates with Walter. Yeah, he was. They had multiple shows on his channel with the ex-Nazi, explaining the joys of space exploration. You couldn't believe, Walt Disney was a Jew. You can't make these things up. But mind you, there's Zelensky, a Jew. And he's committing. People don't realise that he was actually committing genocide. Not him, before him. In Ukraine. And Putin said it. He said the West have got us. Why don't you fucking stop this genocide? Listen, people, I've got to go and get me water. And a couple of tissues. My nose is all itchy again. Itchy. I always remember a film, and it was, black and white one. Spike Milligan was in it, and it was about the British Army, and he was in it. It was in peacetime. I forget what it was called. And he goes to Naffy, and he gets some cigarettes. So anyway, his mate goes like, oh, "Go and get us some," and he said, "I can't. I've just been and got some." Because you're only allowed, if you know what I mean, rationed. And he said, "Oh, go on." He said, "I can't." He said, "I better go on. Go and get them for us." So he went, all right. She goes over to the, the Naffy girl. And she's standing there like that. And he goes like this. "Can we have a packet of cigarettes, please?" That was his disguise. "Can you have a packet of cigarettes?" Such just stupid but funny. Spike Milligan. Well, I won't be a minute, honestly. Just get me water and a couple of tissues. I'm like the man in grey, aren't I? Still got my grey pyjamas on. Bottoms, that is. Got this on, grey hair. Do you ever remember John Major being called the man in grey? Not the man in grey, the grey man. What a fucking leader he was as well. Excuse me. Salute. Don't be in that. The Redbird, don't forget to hit the like, good people. Oh, thank you, Redbird. Johan, birds of a feather, Admiral Bird. Admiral Bird. QT's with us. Are you QT? Hey, my brother. And QT says, and why I am a born-again Christian now. God blimey. We're going into everything here. And the bear says, smoke tonight. Liverpool are attempting to sign Morgan. I'm telling you now, don't want Rodgers. Because if we get him, that'll be the end of his sack. He'll be going to Paris Saint-Germain or Real. And the Red Mods, I'm a Christian too, bro. I say 2 prayers I'm a Catholic, Roman Catholic. That's what, I was born into. And I say 2 prayers every night. I'll practice in one. I'm not a practicing one. But that's what I am. It's whatever you were born into. It's like whatever you're born into. Say like football, for example, you're born into a red or not. In Liverpool, you're born into either being a red or a blue. It's as simple as that. So you're born into whatever religion. I always remember, what's his name? God blimey, I've had a cup of tea and never eaten him. Oh, what's his bloody name? Well, he was born into a household. He's a Liverpool comedian, brilliant he is. Not John Bishop or anyone like that. God blimey. You want to buy a motor? Remember him? Oh, blimey, what's his name? Anyway, he was born into a family of atheists. They were intellectuals. And come on, help me out. Who was it? All right, John, you want to buy a motor? Remember him? That's a cup of tea and a sandwich with him. I've got his name. I'm losing it, And Summers. Are we after Morgan? I was away for a while. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. Freezing. Good evening, Frank and chat. Mr. Cheat. Oh, blimey. Some name better. This is not another one of you, is it? With a little different name coming on. Mr. Cheese. That must be cheese. Silent J, mustn't it? Go on, Frank, lad. Thank you. And Tomas says, Stanley Kubrick, The Shining, put all the Easter eggs in that film, then not long after had a strange death. And my good friend, Steve Evans. Rodgers isn't a striker, Frank. He's still getting done. I hope so. And I never seen a message he sent a while back, and he said, "Do you know that FSG sold a Red Sox player for $285 million?" You know, Stay, I'm not interested in. You know that I'm not interested in the owners. You know, don't interest me. Thank you, Stay. Alexei Sale, thank you. I've had a cup of tea this sandwich. All right, Mike. Alexei, thank you, Stay. Good man. Alexei Sale. And he's an atheist because he was born into a household his parents were atheists. It's whatever you were born into. And as I said, it's just like football. You were either a red or a blue. It's as simple as that. Look, I watch a lot of crime on it. It's not in this country, in America, and they're diabolical over there. Serial killers. It's shocking. And the brutality of some of the murders is shocking. This gang, 5 or 6 fellas kidnapped this young couple, and what they put them through. You know, a couple, a girl and a fella, you know, and they were only young. They were only 20, 21. And what they put them through, them killed them. Fucking hell. Evil. And you've got that other fucking TV on you the other day going around shooting people. These school shoot. That Gavin Newsom, you know, the Senator Gavin Newsom, he's a fucking arsehole, him. And he says, you know, this is happening again. What can be done? And I tweeted, you know, put it on X. And I retweeted, stop selling them fucking guns, you balloon. Whether they understood that, like, I don't know. And I'm English, not an American. Shadows on the Moon, only in the studio when they filmed a fake landing. There you go. Says the big red bird. And Mr. Chief, we will protect the women and children from war-torn countries, but one thing we will not stand for are military-aged males illegally coming here. Yes, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. You know, if you say something, you're either a follower of someone, you know, who just hates all immigrants or whatever. Oh, you're horrible. You know, I don't want them. I always remember this kid being interviewed 2 years ago. Young lad. Should have seen the jacket he had on him. Looking better than my jackets, what I've got. And I've got nice ones. But anyway, I'm joking. And he has it on, and it was an Armani. And I know I can tell Armanis, believe it or not. And he had this Armani shirt. Brilliant it was. This white T-shirt. And he had these jeans, you know, modern jeans and trainees, and this phone. A modern, better than my one. And he's saying, I've got to get up to Leeds to some relatives, and I need benefits. This is a lad who's just got off a fucking dinghy. And I'm against all that. Totally against it. Because no matter what, you get cells. You've only got to look at the Manchester bombing. That was shocking. Manchester bombing. Just leave it at that. And what Mr. McCheese says. One funny disguise is in a film. Watch 4 Lions. Do you know what I was told to watch that today? The 4 Lions. 4 Lions. I will watch that. Thanks for letting me know. I've watched one good one. I'm going to talk about it. I'm not talking about it tomorrow. Yeah, it's Saturday. Fucking hell, these weeks are passing. But you're right there, Mr. Cheese, Scottish Bear, Toscana, just popped your messages. Thanks for both for your kind words. That's Simon. And that's Simon to the Scottish Bear and to Toscana. You are right, today's High Court ruling only makes things worse. Oh, my mate Stephen. It was called Operation Northwood to the Scottish Bear, says Steve Mulholland. Steve's good, actually. I'd love him to come on here. Stephen, the jackals are everywhere. Of course they are. Of course they are. Good shout, Bear. And Steve says, Steve Mulholland, that is. Hi, Frank, do you think the alleged attack on the MI6 British Council was a... Do you know what? It's hard to say now. It's so very hard to say it now, Stephen. You know the way things are going. Honestly, it's very... I've seen footage of what's going on, and I can't believe my eyes. I really can't. I can't believe my eyes. You know, we've been concentrating on Gaza, what's going on. We've been concentrating on Ukraine and what's going on with all the fucking propaganda about one of the worst fucking dictators, and he is a dictator, is that Zelensky. But he's reading a script. He reads a script every day. Because what's behind him are the Azovs. And remember when he first became a puppet, Zelensky, when he got in, he said, we'll fucking hang you from a lamppost if you don't do as we say. Remember that? He said that to him. And he went, oh, yeah, all right then. He's a puppet. He's getting the money. And this fella's Zelensky, who the West wants, is fucking worse than it. He's got a big tattoo of a swastika. He's an Azov. He's a Banzerite fan. Zelensky. He's a Banzerite fan. He's a fucking horror. And the Russians would love to have him. That's why he's terrified that the Nazifying of Ukraine. They fucking round a lot of them up. And they go after the other dope. Zelensky. They'll get him. If he's not dead, that is. And this is over. So I can't really say, Stephen, honestly. It's only with what's going on. Do you know, I understand that, you know, they're saying that's the Russians. But you've got the Russians, they've warned the British. They said, you fucking start messing with us and talking about sending over troops. I'm split on it. I've got to be honest. That's a cracking question, by the way. And it's really stumped me. It's like saying, will Liverpool win 5-0 on Sunday against Arsenal? It's hard, that. And it could be a false flag. I'm 50-50. To be honest, I'm the way it's the snidey and the red flags are flying everywhere. I'd lean more against a red flag, if you know what I mean. But I just think of what Russia have responded to Starmer saying, you fucking send, don't you dare send troops. This is what happened. And don't forget as well, they were there in this particular building discussing, I know it's pathetic, discussing how to make this factory and these drones and whatever. Well, he fucking destroyed a lot of them. So it's very thanks for the thanks for the question. It's very odd though. And QT says, nah, it doesn't go in a circle. All those things are meant to happen. Yeah, I understand what you're saying about full circles and what I said before. But it fucking does, I'm telling you. Well, that's me, though. That's just me. That's just me. Buonasera, Franco, and everybody. I hope you're well. Thank you. I hope you're all well, says the lovely Bella. And Christopher. Going to have to go. Have to go, is it? Is that? Oh, have a good night, Frank. I'm sorry there. It's a predictive text, you see. I'm going. Have to go. Good night, Frank, and everyone up the title winning Reds. Good night, Christopher. Thank you. Mille grazie. Hope you're well too, Bella. The Argent. Hey, Myra. Hey, Lee. QT. It's all about the great fall away. And it's happening, says QT. They're asking, yeah, thank you. I'm just treatment sometimes knocks me out. I hope you're all right, Bella. We are worried, any of our people on here. And we do worry, and people do, ask how you are. They are concerned. And QT, have a blessed one, guys. I'm out. I'll see you, QT. Thank you for your contribution. You too, mods, bro, says the Red Bird. Hope all is good, says the QT too, Bella. See what I mean? See what I mean about how we think about our people on here. I've just got an itch, that's all, honestly. Johan, Frank Sidney Gottlieb, CIA biochemist and director of Hungarian Jewish immigrants, consulted Paperclip ex-Nazi immigrants for his operations. Make that make sense. I was listening to, I think he's the foreign secretary of SEATS, is it, of Hungary. He doesn't pull any punches. Do you see what Hungary's doing to the EU? They're fucking suing them. They're suing them. Hungary is suing because what those snidey bastards did, you know that every European, members of the European club, right, they all have to agree for certain things. And he has a vote about the Russian assets of 300 billion. And they were dipping into it. So he says, and they all voted. And they actually vetoed. Slovakia and Hungary vetoed. So they couldn't do it, but they fucking went ahead and did it. So they're suing them over it. They're brilliant. Hungary. They're going after Hungary. They're going after Hungary, they're going after Serbia, they're going after Slovakia, they're going after Georgia, they're even going after, have you seen who's buying up Cyprus? They're buying up. Have you seen it? Who they are? Israel. I don't think the ordinary Greeks would be made up, you know, flying the 5-star thing. Shocking. No one can make sense of anything, you know, Johan, really. We try to make sense on here. It's fucking shocking. Just seen a little comment. You moaning again, Frank Carlyle? Piss off, you. I'm not moaning. You should be out tonight. It's Friday night out. Why aren't you out? Should be out. Never mind sitting in. Neither than me. Steve up. Glad you're a Christian. Me too. I think that's too the red bit. Praise and blessing. Yes, I like that. Thank you. I like that. Oh, there's a very fucking good point as well, and it's by Yukira Suma. Yukira Suma. Is that Japanese? America will annex Greenland. They wanted to, yeah. That's why, have you noticed in the last few days, that, what is it? Exxon. They turned around and said, listen, we've got to do we have to do some work with Russia in the Arctic. Have you noticed that? Because they're up there, Russia. And if they start fucking about, see, you've got me swearing. Ex-altar boy, swearing. Yeah, it's Exxon. Saying we'll have to do work with these because of that, because of what you said. They're Yukihira. Some name, that. Is that Japanese? Suma. Suma doesn't sound Japanese, though, does it? But Yukihira does. Does it? Japanese. But thank you anyway for joining us. And they will. Don't forget, Trump came out, didn't he? And decided to call the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. Then he said to Canada, you're going to be our 51st state. And I've said for years, you know, years and years, America wants to police the world, but they've got no chance of policing anything like that, the world. You've got BRICS, and they're trying to break it down. You've got very dangerous men in America. Very, very dangerous. The likes of Lindsey Graham, for example, and that General Kellogg, who's a complete fucking idiot, and also a fella named Doherty. Not Doherty. Oh, what's his name? Another idiot. They're all fucking idiots. Every one of them. War hawks. They want war with everyone. Try and watch a film if you can. And we're going to talk about it tomorrow. And it's with Gabriel Byrne, and you can get it on YouTube. Because I watched it. It wasn't a film, it was like a series, but it was very short. It was on for about 2 hours, and it was good. And I went, whoa, it's applying today. And I mean it, just have a look at it. You think that it was made last week. Gabriel Byrne, and it's called State Secret or Secret State. Either or. State Secret or Secret State. Powerful. It was actually taken from a very British coup. A very British coup. But it's on YouTube, Gabriel Byrne. It's really good. And that'll surprise you. And Bella says, oh, I'm lying. Oh, I hope you're okay, Bella. Honestly. Al Murray is a comedian. Oh, yeah, that Al Murray. See, honestly, it's like AI. Because we were talking about AI and someone come up and said something, and it was a fucking name. If you know what I mean. Like Al Murray. And I'm going, oh, AI. Oh, I've never heard that. Oh, ridiculous. Are you going to talk about Jack the Ripper, says Bella, tonight? No, not now. It's too late. It's too late for me. I'm sorry, Bella. See, they just started. I was going to talk about Operation Paperclip and what the consequences were for Paperclip. Everyone's gone to the moon. Best wishes, FC and all. Hit the likes. You never walk alone with hope, says the capo di tutti capi. The boss. Is that Mulder and Scully office, Frank? Says the Polo Mint. Yes. I've done it up. I always do it up, before the show. Get this fucking wardrobe in. Mayors are getting that in, but it's mayors are putting these books up. And, putting the poster up. Just want it to look like it. And the desk there, obviously. And dragging the mic over. And for in the morning, I have to drag it all out again. And you know the score, don't you? Polo. Polo will be going, oh, fuck off, Frank. But it is. It's Scully's office. I love it myself. And she says, Frank, I'd want you funny disguises in a film. Oh, the Four Lions, funny as he always says, fuck. But he's being nice tonight. Because the girls are looking at it. Well, Sunday would start with stronger back line to start their chances and fill midfield to dominate the ball, but give 5 of my 3-5-1-1 formations license to support the strike and flow in the Bobby's role. And we're not talking about football. British Council NGO and US, as being exposed as secret ops spying. These counter-protests busted. That's what I said, Polo, before. I've said it on previous shows as well. And they're giving all flags. I think they get $2,200. And there's people out there who go, fucking right, to be bust in and bust out. And get put up, by the way, as well. So why not? I'll fucking go along. Not me. I'm just saying, I'll go along, if you were there. Yeah, I'll have that. $2,200. Getting fed in a hotel, all right? Staying there for as many days, then you bust out again. 2.5, more or less $2.5 grand. Know what I mean, Polo? Spot on, mate. And the Shankly Reds, Alexei, thank you. Yeah. I was told before, so sent me a message. Steve, thank you. I'm glad you knew as well. I couldn't think of his name. Couldn't think of his name. Alexa. And Freedom Jet. Are you aware of the journalist Graham Phillips? He was reporting the truth about Ukraine military operations in its own people in the Donbass region. YouTube closed his accounts in 2023. I'm waiting for it to on here. Yeah, Graham Phillips. There was another fellow in America, a bit of a divvy, like, but he was all right. He was actually in Russia, named Dugan. Was it John Dugan or someone like that? Ex-policeman, and I think he was New York. But anyway, he's an ex-cop over in America, and he was coming out with all the shut him down. Peter Brown. Good evening, Frank. Good evening. Oh, happy Friday. Glass of scrumpy here. If you know what that is. Yes, I had scrumpy. Ended up rotten drunk as a 20-year-old young man down in Torquay. Lemon top, I called it. He said, no, get a lemon top scrumpy. Oh, yeah, okay, get the lemon top, because it was lemonade. But to have it raw without any lemonade, oh, horrible. Ended up, I was sick. And I went over from the pub. It was only a short street, short crossing. And I went over about on this white wall, this like gable end, this house, this home, whatever it was anyway. And when I was coming home after the season ended, that stain was still there. So God knows what I think it's kept me going. Scrumpy from then till now. Look at this fella, look. Oshie Emery. Are you a nonce, mate? Fuck off. Asshole. I reckon that you're a nonce, Frank, mate. Go away. Am I? Oh, well, that's all right. As long as you think so. As long as you fucking think so, you fucking... What's this fucking fella going on about? Do you know, if I had you here, I'd fucking strangle you. I'd fucking strangle you, you fucking prick. Look at this cunt here. I'm a racist now. I'm a racist. I fucking know. I'm gonna get fucking rid of you, you fucking. We'll fucking find you, prick face. I wonder who these fucking people are. You know, you think about your own family, like my granddaughter. And you got people like that coming out with... And the thing is, they could go around saying that Carlyle's a nonce. Fucking look for you, you fucking prick. See this fella here, look. anyone find this fucking person out? You fucking gone, mate. See, with fucking Jason not being here, he should be fucking moderating this. He should be. These things should never fucking be allowed on. It's upsetting, you know. It's fucking upsetting. Because no one, Jason should be fucking looking at this. Yeah, I've asked Jason for it's just, Johan, you ready to be a moderator? I'm glad you said that, because I said to Jason, I said, we've got to get it, because he asked if he wanted to be a moderator. It's horrible, isn't it? Sebastian Gorka. Who's Sebastian Gorka? Is that it? Is that the fella's name who was coming out with all that under these false names? They've nothing between their ears and behind their eyes, says Johan. It's a sign. Myra. I wish Franco would have sorted it out sooner. I'll volunteer. I'm here almost every evening. I think the Liverpool title brought the little kids in. I think it's more than that, you know. I had there was a fella on, and he was a Ukrainian. You know that, Johan. He was Ukrainian, wasn't he? And he had a go. He thought he was having a go. And you speak Russian? You got him. So there's people like that, you know. You've only got to talk about, you know, the likes of Ukraine, or these fucking people coming off the boats. And they don't like it. You know, there's lots of things like that. So, or he's a journalist, Matt Getz, isn't he? He's good. He's good. Johan, honestly, I'll have you sorted, mate. I did mention it actually to Jason at the time. Honestly. Jealous little brats, he says to Myra. I don't think that it's, mind you, it could be over football. I just don't know. And you get a lot of hatred towards it. We've always had hatred for some reason. Honestly. Top Birch, how do you think Sunday will go? Don't ask me. Don't ask me. Especially with our defence. Todd. Honestly. You're playing well. You bought well. But it should be fine. I'm doing a watch along if you want to watch it. Unless you're at Anfield yourself coming up. Tara Azizi, Greg Abbott. Greg Abbott. The name rings a bell, you know, unless I'm thinking of another Abbott. Lee Argent. Myra Page for moderator. But Myra's only here on her, you know, she's on a Friday. She's always here on a Friday. That's no problem. And, you know, a couple of times I've seen her during the week. And Jen, I've deleted them. I wasn't ignoring them. I wanted to fucking strangle one. I said, if I fucking you, Jen, I can't have that on my thing. I really can't. Not on my chat. These are good people on here. These are lovely, heartwarming people who have got a brain, by the way. I'd have fucking seen it if they were standing here. I just strangled them. Because anyone who comes out and says things like that, I stand and listen. It'd be fucking hanging from the ceiling. I'm telling you. Or from outside my window. So I'm not really ignoring them. I'm not having fucking going down the chat and seeing their horrible fucking things. Hatred aimed at me. They don't fucking know me. I don't know them. I haven't a clue they are. See, it could be about anything, Jen. Why they've come on, but I haven't ignored them, sweetheart. Feeling sicko people have no souls, in my opinion, says the Red Bird. Hello, Frankie, says Tony. Hiya, Tony, the mince pie man. Frank, says Jen, stop it. I haven't ignored them. I've fucking had me say, Jen. I've had me say. Unless you're seeing them, I've stopped them. I've actually deleted them. And deleted their comments. Even someone had to go once, months ago, at one of the people on here, got shut of them right away. It wasn't anything like that. It was like a disagreement. It was a big kid turned into a stupid, controversial argument. So I got rid of them. But that particular vile, slanderous thing. See, these are all assumed names. These are all anonymous names. These are fucking horrible people. Okay. As Jen say, banned now. Yeah, well, you don't have to go on. The banned. They are banned forevermore. And anyone else that will come on, I'll fucking ban them as well. They don't know me. Certainly fucking don't. Guys, don't respond messaging. Frank knows otherwise. These idiots are just baiting, says Simon. Thank you, Simon. Right. I don't want you to be commenting anymore. You know, ask a question or something, Jan. Redbear says, feeking, not feeling. That's not so sure. There you go. I'm sorry, Jan, I've got to stop you, sweetheart, whoever you know, because you're going on and on. Stephen Mulholland, the Canadian astronaut Chris Hadfield said live on BBC, maybe one day man might go to the moon. Yup. I always remember watching something, and Buzz Aldrin was going into like a Walmart, the mart things, Walmart. And as he was walking in, this fellow went there, hey, Buzz, and yeah, can you give us your autograph? And he went, yeah. And he said, thanks for that. He said, you've just signed that you never went to the moon. It was all fake. Fucking hell. And it was not. It was just like a piece of paper. And Buzz Aldrin started fucking punching fuck out of him. And he said, you know, it was stopped. And he said, we did go. And he said, no, you fucking didn't. You know it, and I know it, and millions of us. That's what he said. I'll never forget that. It was a few years ago now. Buzz Aldrin. Excuse me, I reported them to YouTube. I also took a screenshot, says Ambidextrous. Thank you, Ambidextrous. Thank you. Thank you. Freedom. Frank, I don't know how to do it. I haven't a clue how to make anyone. I'm fucking useless. That's where I am. I said to Jason, make Johan a moderate. I haven't a clue. Honest to God, I haven't a clue. I don't know how to do it. All as I do is come in here, sit down, and I always thank Jason because he sets everything up. But Jason's a very busy person. The only time he ever sits down, he loves history, you see. But, you know, he's got his own life as well, and he can't, like, he should. I think he's... But thank you, Freedom. Really appreciate that. And Johan says, I've reported both of them pricks, and he doesn't swear. Johan never swears. He called them pricks. If Johan was a Catholic, he would have been there blessing himself and going to confession tomorrow. The red bird. It's a girl, you know. Ambidextrous is a girl, red bird. It's a girl. It's a lady. And Shahib Ayub. They are sick people. Horrible. There you go. Thank you. Thank you for that, Shahib. Shahib. Shuhib. I'm useless at trying to, like, the likes of his name, Tony's all right. You know what I mean? Frank, I've been blocking these naughty comments. Fucking trolls, mate, says Tony. Thank you. Thank you, Tony. No respect, says Ayub. I'll just say Ayub. Thank you, Ayub. I wonder if they liked, and I wonder if just going to say something. No respect. Thank you. Frank, you need moderators pronto. I know. After that, I'll just have to have a word again with Jason. It's very. I hardly speak to him as well during the week. As well, he always used to phone me. I'm going back months ago, before every show, for about 5 or 10 minutes. Never does it now. But he's busy, as I said. He's all over the place. He's not just in. He has to go out and work because he's called for all these mad officers all over the place. I'm just fucking fed up now. That's really annoyed me. And Simon, Jen, go away, please. Get your kicks. I've banned it. I've banned it. Another troll here, Jen Lee, Jen N, says, yeah, I banned it. Toscana got hold of me, sent me a message. And Tony says, Frank, this Jen troll. Lee Argent, they're all the same troll person. Yeah, they are, Lee. But I've never heard anything like that. It's all right, saying, like in football things, you fuck off, But to say what they were saying. And they liked, was they saying I like child porn or they like child porn? As I said, if I had that fella fucking next to me, he'd be fucking unlived now. He'd be unlived, he'd be deleted. Fucking telling you. And Bella says, Jen had to go away and pray. Jen, go away and pray for forgiveness. Too late for Jen. Franco, I'm sure there's a few of us that will moderate. Jen N is one of them, says Toscana. Yeah, well, I took your word before I seen the others and just got shut of it. Jen, why are you saying that faking to be a Muslim to you, weirdo? Says Callum. And Johan, Frank, give it out to multiple people who are regularly here. I'd suggest Toscana, Bella, Simon as well. Yeah, I will. I will. I'll do that. But I can't do it. I'd love to. As I've used all, I'm fucking it that now. Honestly, I would. Point is, I can't. I haven't got the capabilities of doing it. Fancy showing that to my daughter. Fucking hell. To be fucking called that, though. I don't mind getting called fucking names or whatever, but that. Honestly, because anything like that, all I think of is my granddaughter, put it that way. Fucking. Thanks, Johan. I will. I'll tell you, but it's whether he fucking knows as well. Can anybody do that? Can you do that, Johan? Can you sort that out for us? I haven't a fucking clue. I don't think Jason has either. But he said, oh, you got to go through this and you've got to through that. And Callum says, Frank, look down in the... Oh, don't say this fucking more. Please, don't say. And Simon says, guys, he doesn't know that this is a troll. Can no one message him? Is that it about that end one? Let me go right down, people. Is anyone? Yeah, TNN was banned and their comments removed. Yeah, but I understand what you're saying there, Red Bird. Jenna's not a Muslim name, or is it? Jesus is King. See, you've only got to look at their names and you know that it's not the proper names, Red Bird. You know that. You know that. So they go under assumed names so you can't like pinpoint them. But they're that thick that you can't fucking get hold of them. It's like when you've seen it, haven't you, when Hillsborough comes up on these tweets. Like 97 wasn't enough and all this horribleness. And then someone puts it up and says, let's make this fella fucking famous. And we've had a few people there sacked, haven't we, from their jobs by saying things like that. And that's hate speech, by the way. But because it's Liverpool, you know, they don't go to fucking jail. But if you say anything against, you know, the Israeli government, you can go to jail for 14 years. Johan Saleh. Low IQ individuals that pray for their souls, but unfortunately even God cannot save. And the bear says, Frank, no excuse. It only takes Jason 2 seconds to make 5. You need to get that. So, yeah. I remember asking Jason about Johan. And I remember him saying, well, we've got to do this. And we you know, we've got to get hold of Johan and get his... You know, I just let him carry on. I thought he would have made him a moderate and someone else as well. Forget. If anyone can fucking sort it, yeah, for me, that'll be great. And ambidextrous. Yo, man, way to go. Thanks, ambidextrous. I remember her having a sheepy good, you know, ambidextrous. Because I remember that. She was having a go the other night at someone. Sheepy good. Ayub, LOL. It's okay. Ayub is fine. Thank you, Ayub. Thank you, Ayub. At least, you know, trying to pronounce some names. I can hardly pronounce my own name sometimes. And Callum, the Red, says to the Red Bear, Yen's an English name. What you mean, Muslim name? Muslim ain't an ethnicity. It's just a religion, isn't it? I think we've become the ethnicity, to be honest. It doesn't fucking matter, does it? Simon, I wasn't coming back on until I seen Scottish Bear and Toscana message. I'm truly sorry, Frank. You had to endure this. Don't deserve this, but you need to speak to Jason ASAP, as they will try it again. Yeah, under assumed names. Yeah, they can come back. I got banned from Facebook because it was hacked. And like, I try to read out every comment. I don't ask for anything off anybody. I really don't. And, you get other, like, YouTubers, it's got nothing to do with me. They're asking for their super chats and all this, and bypass the comments if you don't. But I'm not like that. I don't want anything. I even one of the lads said, "Tell you what, let's do a rare super chat." And I said, "No, I don't want a super chat." Honestly, he's a genuine good lad. Always on here. You said it. I said, "No, I don't need it." Because you are you. You're part of you're part of the show. Your comments mean everything. Your comments get discussed. You see what I mean? So you're part of it. I'm not doing fucking money off anybody because you're part of it. Why should I be asking for fucking money off people, good people? If you know what I mean, Simon. The Red Bear. Callum, you're right, bro. But the creature said it was a Muslima. IBR. Evening, John Franco. Evening, IBR. Excuse me. And Callum, Red Bears, it will be agnostic person saying that to wind the chat up. Could be, actually. Good shout, that. Callum. Good shout. And Simon, excuse my language, they are just sad, twisted, dirty, vile fuckers. Don't let them get at you. Looks like trolls, using funny names, trying to play games. We all help if we see it, of course. Of course. The first time I could ever, like stop people, like delete them. And I only found that out, forget when I deleted someone. Got rid of them. And lovely Myra says, Frank, Google on how to make a moderator on a blog. I'll have to get Jason to do all that. Honestly, I will. So, he's busy like on a Saturday morning. He sets everything up for me. So he's got a little family. He's like Tom Good out of The Good Life. Do you remember that? Fucking everything. Pear trees, apple trees, fucking bananas and everything. Brings me them. Making pots of jam. He's a great lad. But, and he is busy, honest. He's excellent to like to see, though. That's his job. That's why he's sought after, by companies to go in and sort their offices out. Do that. I'll tell him to do that, Myra. And even IBR puts a thumbs up, agreeing. And the T says, even if I just back from a weekend, never seen rain like it. I hope you're well. I remember I went away, I'm going back a few years ago, and I needed to get away for a while. And that's something like that. So I went away. I seen a holiday, and this was the end of September. And I've been to Italy that year anyway. I've been to Italy twice. Went to Rome for a few days, but I had a 2-week holiday as well. So I decided to go somewhere else, seen this holiday, and I went over to, where did I go? One of the Greek islands. What was it? Was it the Greek island? Yeah, I don't know whether it was Corfu. Kefalonia it was, because I wanted to see where, if you've ever seen Captain Carelli's mandolin, it's where an incident took place with these Germans and Italian soldiers. And I wanted to see the site. So I went there specifically to see it. And I was having a drink one afternoon and talking to this couple, married couple. I'm not saying they were elderly or anything then, but anyway, they were saying we had to get away. We had to get away from, they lived in Bournemouth. They said we had to get away because it's been raining all summer. They owned a boarding house. And they said they always had people staying there every summer. That was their income. And it rained. He said we lost loads of custom. It just rained in Bournemouth. He said we've come here for some sun. Never forget that. But I know Bournemouth's not in Devon. It's on the south coast, nevertheless. See, make us all mods, then sickos will be banned straight up. Do you know what? I fucking will. If I could do it, I'd just stop it now and fucking do everything. But I'm useless. And Leardian Tamara, can't you do the moderator through your YouTube account? I think you can, says Lee. That's what I mean. Does anybody know? Lee? You need emails to mod people. You do it on stream. Ask Jason how to. Thank you, Redbird. I've only got 2 emails. I won't say who they are, but off the chat. But we went well when we first started, though, didn't we, until now? And Freedom says, I just read the instructions on YouTube. Next to a chat message, click the menu and select Add as Managing Moderator or Add as Standard Moderator. Hey, that's good. That's good. I'll know the time, know everything, and I'll tell Jason to get the time on here and read that out. But I'll tell him anyway. In fact, I'll take a photograph of that instead of fucking. Fucking useless, aren't they? Just bear with me. Yeah. Got it. Got it. Thank you. Thank you for that. Made up with that. Thanks, Freedom. I think you be a moderator as well. Lee, we can't mod ourselves. It has to come from Frank's end. I'm gonna do it. Honestly, I'll send Jason a message tonight. And Mara says, Tilly, only a person in charge of the blood can do that. By menu, it means 3 vertical dots next to their name. That's good. I'll remember that one. Just say about the 3 dots. Frank, if Jason can't help you, set you up moderator, Fozzie and Jamie Phillips can help you with that. I haven't seen fucking dead Fozzie. Phillips was supposed to come on, Jamie. Contact them if Jason can't help you. I will do. I'm on Jamie's thing, X, so I'll get hold of him. I will. But so is Jason as well. He can get hold of him. And Lee says, sorry, I meant Frank's YouTube account. Yeah, I got banned and I lost a lot of good friends. And I'm terrified to add people because that's how I got hacked the last time, and they were saying that I was asking for money. I always remember I think it was a Bitcoin or some fucking coin. And they were saying, if you send me £600, they were very convincing, by the way, send me £600, I'll guarantee you will have 6,000 in 2 weeks in your bank account. And I got banned for that. Whether he got someone's bank details, I don't know. But I tried to, I never Jasoned it. It wasn't me, it wasn't Frank. Whatever. Nothing. And even that Francine said, you'd be back with him 90 days. They'd never ever come back to me. I'm fucking bothered anymore. Ambidextrous. I'd be happy to. You're one of them then. You are one of them. I know what you meant there. Know what you meant, ambidextrous. I'll get our Italian ladies. Ambidextrous. Johan. And Peter Brown. What flavour vape are you operating on tonight, Frank? It's a strange one, actually. It's a nice one. It keeps me calm. Just ordinary. Just ordinary. Just ordinary, Peter. Scouse flavoured, yes. Could be a will, yes. Shall we make one up, Peter? Hey? Scouse flavoured oil. If you're not a Scouser, you'll end up being a Scouser. If you buy this, you'll have to market it. Any update from Isak, says the football master? Do you know what? The chat will tell you, here, master. Do you know, like for weeks, everybody's been going on about Isak. And I said long before about Isak that we're going to get this lad Isak from Newcastle. I said that. And I kept saying, and I'm going back weeks ago, you know, just let it ride now. Because every other pod going on football pods, they were just speculating, they were, full of everything. And it was daily, it was every single day, it was every podcast. And they were coming on 2 or 3 times a day. And, you get fed up with the same rhetoric. You get fed up with I'm not against the lads, the other pods or anything, but you get fed up with the same rhetoric. And they don't talk about anything else. So I said to our lot here, I said, I'm not doing anything on it. I said, the only time, like the other night, I always get a fucking text. And I know who it is. and I don't like saying anything, and I don't like mentioning him. And he kept fucking saying right through the, we've got him, we're signing him. I'm signing fucking no one. And the other night, and I just said it for the sake of fucking saying, I said, hey, I've just had a text, and these will tell you, Isak is signed. You see what I mean? So I don't go along with it. And I've said, and these lads have said, and girls said, until the lads is in the accent holding up a shirt, will we believe that we sign people? So that's it. You know, he will sign, put it that way. He is signing. That's all I can say. So is that gay fella, him. But now they've gone in for Rodgers as well. The only player, I'm not saying the only, but a player I wanted, or two players I wanted for 2 years, and I mentioned this 2 years ago on my podcast, was a lad named Incapi. Fantastic left back. He could play left side at centre back too. Fantastic he is. And we could have had him this summer. Could have had him now today if we put an offer in for him. And also another lad, but we can't get him now because he went. We could have had him for 53 million last summer. And we could have had him in last January's window. And I've been following him because I follow Napoli in Italy. Seen him playing for 3 years. He played against us twice. He was absolutely unbelievable. And that was Kvaratskhelia. He always pronounce his name, but you know what I mean. And he went to Paris Saint-Germain. We could have had him in the winter. And then he played against us and fucking murdered us, didn't he? He was fantastic. And one of the journos, you know, the Liverpool journo said he was an unknown quantity. What a load of fucking bollocks that was. An unknown quantity. You can't make them up. Bella says, you've never asked for anything, Frank. You only give us the knowledge that you possess. Thank you. So please don't be upset by anybody. They are just people, nothing else to do. But you have God on your side. Yes. And the only thing is, I don't go to confession for me swearing. See where the bullets are coming from? That's pretty funny, Myra, says Lee Argent. And Johan to Myra. Nice advice, sniping from Manchester with my digital bullet. And your blue spanner is visible and the troll can block you and continue to throw. And Simon says, guys, all of you, you did well tonight. And thank you all for helping Frank reporting and blocking these clowns. Frank really appreciates it. We look out for one another. Absolutely. Absolutely. 1,000%. No, make it 1,000,000% spot on. We do. Especially when someone's sick or going through a bad time. Yes. If I was one of these oligarchs, you know what I'd do? Pack you all on to a ship and bring it on a cruise. Every single one of you. And I'd say, we're going on a whale cruise. It's going to be a 28-week one. And if you ever want to get off, wherever, you might only want to come on for a week. You'll have your plane fare. You'll have everything sorted to get you back home. Wonder how many of you would stay for the 28-week world cruise. I'd love to do that. But unfortunately, I'm not one of these billionaire oligarchs. Someone will do anything for attention. If they had 2 brain cells, they'd be lucky, says the lovely Toscana. Frank, you do not need emails to make someone a mod. I don't know. Honestly, Myra. Honestly, sweetheart, I don't know. And the Redbird said, I said, you don't need emails, not. You need emails for, okay. So you don't, see, look, you see how it's gone from that to this, what we were talking about, until that fucking prick, 2 pricks came on, 3 pricks came on. But honest to God, I'll sort out the moderators, so I won't have to be bothered about them. Because I know everyone has them, don't they? With the little blue spanner. And he says, any news on Isak or Palace defender? Go, Frank. But we know that was signed. The only thing I've got this pain back. Look at that, I haven't had that for ages. I've had pain in my left elbow. Any news on the Isak or Palace defender, Frank? All as I know is that we're signing them. Liverpool have offered, the asking price to Palace, so they're getting them. And I believe that Newcastle are just asking for that little bit more, but they will sell in the end. They will sell in the end because they're missing out on a lot of money. Not only a lot of money, but also, the moderate wage that they give this lad, Isak. They're still giving it because he said, I'm not fucking playing for you anymore. That's it. So we'll sign him. That's what I've been told. It's a foregone conclusion. IBR, we need red spanners, not blue. Myra, Frank, at least something is coming from. Yes, Myra. Do you know what it is, Myra? It's the support. We support each other. But the amount of support then, for me, is fantastic. Love it. Thank you, Myra. That's a comment that I'll endear to. Really, every comment, really. But you're so right. At least something is coming from the situation. Yes. And we'll sort it out. And the Redbirds, Simon, family counts, and we are all part of the Liverpool family. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You and Myra, 2 fantastic comments. At the end of the day, there's always more. There's always more good people here than bad. That's the important thing, says Lee. Yes. Yes, Lee. Yes. Funny that, isn't it? How my little elbow goes. And I haven't had it for ages. I think it's the way. I know it's my neck, you know, the pain. The red birds, to the red birds from Lee. Hey, Scouse Kennington here. Kennington. And your answer, Lee. Have you noticed the hateful ones have an extremely short attention span when you don't give them any attention? It's great how we all stick up for Franco and help each other, says Toscana. Doesn't matter who we support. No. Doesn't matter what religion either. Look, if anyone calls out Israel for what they're doing to a race of people that we're seeing with our own eyes and experiencing in a modern day world, the 21st century, for God's sake, a quarter into the new millennium, or, the millennium, the 21st century, and what we're witnessing, and no one is doing nothing. And you're getting, the United Nations, condemning the likes of Netanyahu and his government, that immediate government. And America veto it every time. And when you heard, that Netanyahu's got a international criminal court thing on his head to be arrested anywhere, America said, no, we won't be fucking arrested here. And I'm wondering if we'd arrest him, because the man's a war criminal and he just tells lies after lies after lies. When he said about the hospital being hit twice within 10 minutes of each other, killing not only, civilians, but also nurses, doctors, surgeons, and journalists. And he said, it was a mistake. We're sorry for the civil. No, he's fucking not sorry for the civil. That's who he's after. Civilians. And yet British doctors, American doctors, French doctors, you name every other fucking doctor, the nationalities, and they don't say anything. And their star was still supporting them. When Netanyahu went over to the Congress and addressed the Congress in America, remember, 58 standing ovations he got. 58. Every time he opened his lying mouth. So they're very complicit. Even that Lindsey Graham, he's complicit in murdering him, especially with the Ukrainians. Remember when he said, we'll keep going until the last Ukrainian. You've got to take that into context. The last Ukrainian. Ukraine came out the other day, didn't they? And said they've actually admitted their media, because they must have been looking at the West media and Zelensky himself saying we've only lost 45,000 people, soldiers. And they must have gone, and the West is fucking lapping this up. But they're lapping it up. They know the score. They know the full well that it's anyway, because they want to escalate the war. For these military weapon companies, because they're being bribed left, right, and centre And they're also being bribed off Israel. I was reading the other day about, some of our cabinet being paid thousands of Israeli lobbies. That's bribe, that's corruption. And once you start reading that, that's it. Was Jason doing something there? Was he on? Thank you, Toscana, for that. And Simon, to that respect, tonight has not just inspired me, but perhaps I'm like Saul on the road to them. Do you know Damascus is the oldest city in the world? The first metropolitan city in the world. People think that it was the likes of Athens, wasn't it? It's not Damascus. And they've destroyed Damascus from its natural people. Think about it. Generations of Syrians from then, from Damascus, it's gone right through, their families right through. And they've just fucking shafted America again by using a lot of terrible propaganda against Bashar Assad. And I told people ages and ages ago, while he was still leader, I just said, try and Google Homs before all this, the city of Homs. See how beautiful it was. White building, beautiful. The people going away, going around doing their own business, going to markets, beautiful buildings. And then do an after shot of what it's like today, completely and utterly flat. Rubble everywhere. And this is all because of America. Telling you now. All because of America. And their covert operations. And everybody, why is everybody? Well, the likes of BRICS countries are not afraid. And as I said, what they've done to Venezuela, because Venezuela has more oil than Saudi Arabia. They've got gold mines. They've got, I forget what precious stone. Is it emerald mines? They're the resources the Americans want. Trump said it, didn't he? Remember his last campaign? And he said, Venezuela will be collapsed now and I'd go in and get all that. No, he said, if it would have been collapsed, I would have gone in and got all that lovely oil. That's what he said. Now he's trying to collapse it by putting on a $50 million bounty on the head of Maduro, the president of Venezuela. What right has he got to do that? And do you know what the spin was? Drugs. All these drugs are getting... They did it to Noriega in Panama years ago. And they fucking arrested him. What fucking right did he have to go into Panama? And again, the spin was drugs. Fucking America, fucking full of drug addicts. Full of them, put the blame in the South Americans. And they fucking doing it themselves as well. I remember Prohibition. Well, I don't remember it, not that old. And they were bringing in beer and all the thing from Canada. They were bringing it all in because it was a black economy, just like drugs are today in America, a black economy. They make loads of money. So they allow it, pretending that they're against it. That's how fucking phony they are. Yeah, they were bringing us all in, and they were opening speakeasies. Oh, speakeasy. That's why they were called speakeasy. Opening. Hey, it's Larry here with guests. Open the door. Yeah, come in, Larry and guests. The fucking police knew. The police knew. And you see them filming little garages that they're drinking out barrels of booze and they're smashing them. And yeah, look, we're doing that. Yeah, this is prohibition. No booze, no alcohol. There's a temperate society. Fucking breweries were open. And as I said, all the goods, all the alcohol coming in through Canada over the border. That's why you had the gangsters, robbing the shipping, the shipping, getting all the booze for their speakeasies and selling us out. Still think we're fools. I'll finish off what he was saying about from Damascus was angry the other night. Something said, but tonight I've been saying how good people you all are. Of course. Of course. The Red Lee Scouse brother from another mother. Big up, lad. That's Johan as well, isn't it? Our brother from another mother. Great people. Toscana, to Simon. We're all friends on here. Yes. Leardio to Johan. Yes. Simon. The Redbird. Simon, I've wanted to apologise for calling you negative. I didn't, because I thought it would agitate you. Sorry, lad. You're a good one. I was wrong. That's what I was trying to tell him. I say, Simon, look, it's all opinions. And Bella says, bulls are headed Italians, can't tell but swear now and then. My grandmother. To my granddad. I didn't know what it meant. I was a little mad kid. Until I grew up. What did that mean? Vangula, your mama. She used to say when they were arguing. And do you know what I used to say? I used to get a little slap on the back of my head by my granddad. What? What do? Didn't know what it meant. It sounds Italian. Screw that. Simon to the Red. Hey, water under the bridge. I appreciate your honesty and sincerity. I'm sorry if I come across negative. I only ever try to give honest a viewpoint. But you're all good people, of course. So are you. We're all good. A benevolent Welshman. Yeah, to be fair. A benevolent Welshman. A benevolent Welshman. That's a crack comparison. Benevolent Welshman. Simon says, the Red Bird, I saw the light and realised your honesty, guy. You're an honest guy. Respect, brother. And the benevolent says, Palace needs to sell really. Swear Guy will only got a year left. I don't know. They need the money as well, and everyone's going. And if he go, they don't want to see him go for free. I'm telling you now. And Toscana says to the So Bella, even better if you can swear in a few languages. You're right. And the SSB-28. Hello, hello. SSB-28. Hope you're well. I think everyone's gone to the moon. I'm going to go right down because we'll have to finish. Been on here nearly 2 bloody hours. Sam says, last year my wife ran off with the fellow next door. I must admit, I still miss. I remember it years ago. I was a teenager and reading the news of the world. And I read the most funniest thing, and it always resonates with me. And it was about a fella. And this like wife, her husband, and the milkman. And it wasn't the wife, and you know, it's the old cliche, isn't it? The wife ran off with the milkman. We say it all the time. What happens to her? She ran off with the milkman or the coalman. But it was honestly, the husband ran off with the milkman. And it's a true story, you know, it's in the paper. You see the wife, you know, photograph of the wife, like. Crazy. Crazy, Mr. Faulty. And freedom. Frank, do you know much about history of South Africa? That would be an interesting show with the respect to apartheid. I know about roads, you know, going from him. I know about Livingston, you know, Dr. Livingstone, I presume. So I know about those, you know, type of people. And that's about it. And leading up to. But it's very controversial, South African, you know. Yeah, I know you might think. And the likes of Mandela, for example. And I won't do it. Sorry. I will not do it. You know, apartheid is a terrible fucking thing. I'll tell you something. There was apartheid in this fucking city of ours, but it wasn't like black and white or anything. And you went, well, you know, apartheid's like keeping a race of people fucking quiet. Even in the country, when you go back to the Reformation and trying to, you know, ethnic cleanse the Catholic population, people don't even think about that. Ethnic cleansing in this country of the Catholic population, the Reformation. And people go, oh, no, to behave. Oh no, then they lived in apartheid. You fucking stay over there. Don't you fucking come near us. It was shocking. Honestly. And it's a joke. This old man was dying and he called his nephew to his bedside. He said, I'm leaving you my money. Leaving your army money. The nephew said, thank you, uncle. What can I do for you? Get your foot off my oxygen tube. Never tell anyone you're leaving them money. I thank you. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you, Simon. Ah, that's nice. Simon, your jokes are giving me a big smile and a laugh. I had to miss your jokes, didn't I? I just want to go straight down because he almost finished. The lovely Bella. Buonanotte, Franco, and all you wonderful legends. Love. It's one of the greatest things that we all possess, and you have all shown it tonight. Isn't that beautiful? That's beautiful. Buonanotte, Bella. Take care. Take care, Bella. I've been praying for you. Have a good night, legend. Says Johan. Bella, bless you, girl. Says that bit. Simon. Night, guys. Quick cup of tea. Don't think you will need any of the hard stuff tonight. That's nice, that. That's lovely, that. I know where he's coming from with that. And do you know what it is? Do you know, like, the way you get people go, oh, you know, getting fed up and doing this, you know. And he's saying you don't need it because everything is there for you to get here. You don't need the hard stuff. Clever little comment. Salute. Oh, it's nice. So going right down, people. Got to. Johan. Thank you. And take care, Frank and legends in the chat. Have a great weekend, everyone. See you, legends, tomorrow morning on the film show. Yeah, absolutely. And then up Johan, later, lads. The Argents. Johan, take care, mate. Freedom journey, beautiful message, Bella. See, are you on tomorrow, Frank? Yeah, I am in the morning, doing a film and TV review, 10:30 on in the morning. There are a couple of films that I really need to want you to see. It's brilliant. It really is. I won't watch woke films, by the way. I won't watch woke films. But have a look at this. And this was made in 2012. Remember when I said about preamble? And there's always like that sort of seed for the future, especially what's going on today, going back. And I mentioned the First World War, didn't I, from 1924. Yes. Watch it. And it just applies to today because there's a country mentioned in it that's in headlines today. There's always, you look at James Bond, who was the baddies? The Russians. You see what I mean? Everything's going up to them. You see John Wick. I like John Wick, by the way, you know, the franchise and that. But who's his nemesis? And it's the Russian fucking mafia. See, it's just Russian. But just have a look at this film called State Secret or Secret State. Gabriel Byrne, he's in. As long as you get him in, you know, the thing. Brilliant. Yes, so I'm on tomorrow. See? Buonanotte, Franco. Good night to you all. Hope you all have a great weekend, says the beautiful Toscana. Watch along Sunday. Yeah, watch along. Yeah, I'm doing that. I'll try not to swear. But our Arsenal fan. There's your Ayub. Bye. Bye, Yahoo. Have a good weekend, mate. If you're a red, tune in on Sunday. If you like films, tune in tomorrow morning at 10:30. Yes, Franco doing a watch along on Sunday, says you want a TW. Brilliant. I love your Sunday morning picture. But everything gets mentioned then. That's great there. Thank you, Yahoo. IBR. Cheers, Franco, and take care. Yes, and you too, IBR. And to Yoa, to Ayub, thank you. Oh, I see, he can pronounce his name. I can't. Just call him Ayub. And Johan says Fleming was MI6, Bond was Cold War prop. Yeah, it was, but Johan, I've mentioned this a number of times. I actually interviewed years and years ago, before, I think he just made one film, and that was Daniel Craig, his granddad. I didn't know fucking knew Daniel Craig, and I was asked to interview him, and I interviewed him. What a fucking man he was. And he actually said about this particular person, Tor, he could speak several languages without an accent. During the war, intelligence. This particular person. And he used to go into France. He'd been in Berlin. In and out of Berlin. Incredible. And he said, that's the man today. You know, like James Bond. And yeah, I think he died. He must have been fucking dead when his grandson became James Bond. How ironic is that? And he told me all about it. He resigned commissions, his granddad, because he was nearly captured at Dunkirk. Then he resigned his commission, went in to join the RAF, shot down over the Channel. So fuck this. Then he joined the Navy and got torpedoed. And then he joined the intelligence. And he became friends with Ian Fleming. Think about that. He met that Turing as well, Alan Turing. And I hardly knew anything about Turing. You know, these code breakers. And I had a lady in my class named Dorothy, never forget it. Lovely lady, old. She'd be well dead now. And she was down there. She was a code breaker. This lovely lady. Very intelligent. I can't even fuck her heads up yet. She was breaking codes. Sorry, no. And okay, can I send a soup? No, Yahoo, no, I don't ask for anything, honestly. I'd rather give you, look, see, you're part of the show, you're part of the family. I don't ask my family for anything. Honestly, I do not ask for anything of anybody. All I ask the lovely people to do is to like and subscribe, that's all. And as you know, that's free. And I don't ask that for anyone for anything. It's been asked before, actually, I said no. Of someone else. I'd rather give. because you're all part of the show, Ayub. See you tomorrow, Frank, and chat says to tea. Yes. Simon says, I think there's a bit of the devil in everybody. There's a bit of priest in everybody too. But I enjoy playing the devil more. He was more fun, says Gabriel. But yeah, look at that. That must have been. Oh, where he didn't he? Where he goes into the, like, he's meeting a couple, isn't he, into this restaurant. And he sits down, he's smiling, and he says, excuse me, just going to the loo. Was that the devil's advocate? Or have I got that one wrong? Yeah, it wasn't the devil's advocate. And he goes into the loo, and he's there, washing his hand, and all of a sudden he just goes, and something goes into him, like a shadow thing goes into him. And it was the demon, wasn't it? And he just comes out, just grabs hold of the gear, gives it a big smacker. Kiss, that is. And walks out and blows the fucking place up. Brilliant film. Was that the Arnie one? Was that Arnold Schwarzenegger one? And she says, closest to Flamingo Bonds was Roger Moore. Fleming's Bond. Tired. Yeah, I honestly, I thought he was the best Bond. Because he was flamboyant, he was tall, he looked immaculate, he had the voice, he had everything. Yep. I totally 100% agree with you there, say. And Simon, one of Fleming's famous quotes was, you only live twice, once when you are born and once when you look death in the face. Wow. That's a cracker, that. That is. That's brilliant. Alan Turing would be, it would actually, Johan. An incredible man. And he was ostracized when they found out that he was a homosexual. Yeah, you're right. Would be another show. I like and subscribe. Thank you. And subbed. Thank you, Ayub. Thank you. And Ayub, you are inspirational. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Ends of Days says late. Yeah, that's right. The Big Arnie, wasn't it? Big Arnie. Arnie made a couple of good films, but he's a terrible. He signed a death warrant for a fella on death row, and they all thought, when he was governor of California, and they all thought that he was to let him off because Arnie's only fucking signed it. No. Get rid of him. And someone, I don't know who it was, a fellow actor said he only wanted to see what it was like to send someone to the death. Think about it. Big Arnie. Big up, Frank. What's your 11 for Sunday? It says, I'm not picking the 11. Honest. It's too late. I want to finish. My knees are killing me. You think I've been standing there on my knees? My knees are killing me. Honest. Sean Connery for me, says Toscana. Okay, Miss Money Penny. That's one of those, like, funny lists. I like Connery, don't get me wrong. He made one of the best films I've ever seen him in. And that was called The Hill, where he was a prisoner. for smacking a British officer, and they put him on the hill. You know, the camp, the film called The Hill, for prisoners of, not prisoners of war, but for prisoners who have been naughty in the British Army as a punishment. Brilliant film, brilliant acting, brilliant stalwarts. The Hill. And the Red Bear, welcome to our family, Yahoo. Red Bear says, it does, mate. Red Bear's second, that's Scouse. Yes, second, that's Scouse. Have you seen Running Man is coming back out, Frank, as a Is it the original one or is it a remake? There's some terrible remakes going on, you know. But yeah, the Running Man with the big Arnie was good, and it was an unusual one. The Running Man. I think Colin Farrell's, what was that one? An Arnie one. Oh, what was it? And that was lousy. The Arnie one was better. It wasn't the Running Man, it was something else. Salah on Sunday, inshallah. 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 It's good, that. Can I speak Arabic now? Except his name. I can only say Ayub. Mo Salah. Imagine what we wouldn't have achieved without Mo Salah. Was he won the league last season? No. Look at the goals he scored. Look at the assists he scored. No, we wouldn't have done. Our Mo. Everybody loves our Mo. And when my granddaughter was that big, little girl, my granddaughter, and a mother, my daughter, brought her down, and she said, "Tell your granddad who your favourite Liverpool player is." And she said, "Mo Salah." Mo Salah. Just loved that name. And when I got her a shirt the other week, you know, I said, "Why don't you get?" She's saying, "I want Frimpong." Then I went to TK. She was made up with that. And I said, "Why didn't you get Mo Salah on?" She said, "Oh, wait, Granddad." Because I always mention Mo Salah. Total Recall, yes, that was it. Total Recall. That was good, that. I like that. Michael Ironside, the Bazzy in it. He was after him, wasn't he? It looks like Arnie in it, Frank. Oh, see, you know, they could and give him a cameo role like they do with other ones. And Yahoo says, inshallah means God's willing. How does it? Inshallah. I know God's, you know, Allah. I know that. I know that. And Rebbe says, Mo is the greatest Muslim for me. What a player. That's why we call him the Egyptian king. Mo Salah running down the wing. Salah, but salad. I know that last. My favourite player is Virgil, says Ayub. Do you think Isak is a, yeah, and gay, yeah, okay, yeah, and Isak for sure. I do know people, and as our friendly, as our Italian friends say, please, I have to finito. It's been great. I've got you all tomorrow. Well, some of you tomorrow, if you get up. And my favourite player in the Liverpool side, you know, without Mo Salah, obviously, besides Mo Salah, has to be the big veg. It has to be. What a player. What a player. And the Redbird says, Virgil is my favourite too. Great minds think alike, bro. And Isak Monday, inshallah. Inshallah. God willing. And on that wonderful note, I shall see some of you tomorrow. If not, Monday. I've got the history show on Monday. Have I? Yeah, the history show Monday. And I'm sorry about tonight. I'm sorry, you know, everything was taken away. We spent a lot of time over those terrible comments that was coming through. And I'll get Jason to make moderators. Thank you. As they say, mille grazie. Adamani, as the Italians say. Adamani, see you tomorrow. Ci vediamo. See you soon. Ciao. Ciao bella. Ciao bella a tutti.